Hey, where are you? What's going on? Everything is gone from the house. I took a deep breath and said calmly, I packed my things and I left. What? Why would you do that? I don't understand. Well, we're divorced now. So it makes sense that I moved out. Divorced? Yes. I already submitted the divorce papers. My name is Amanda. I'm 35 years old, and I work in an office. I've been married to my husband, David, for 5 years. David used to have a job, but 2 years ago, he quit to start his own business. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Instead, we kept losing money. Now, I'm the one paying for everything. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible either. The real problem was his family. His mother and sister lived in their family home, and every time I visited, they treated me horribly. They insulted me, complained about everything I did, and made me feel worthless. David and I lived in an apartment about 10 minutes away, but he always insisted I go there with him. At first, I went because he wanted me to. But over time, everything changed. At first, I went because he wanted me to. But their behavior kept getting worse. They would insult me constantly. Nothing I did was ever good enough. And then they started asking for money. Amanda, I need $500 for a birthday gift. Can you give it to me? $500? What are you buying, a vacation? That's too much. You're so stingy. Amanda, you don't even support David. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I wanted to say, I'm the one supporting him. But before I could speak, David interrupted. Hey Amanda, just give her the $500. His mother smiled proudly. David, you're such a good son. Then his sister added, I need $300 too. Without hesitation, David said, Of course. Amanda has money in her wallet. Just take it. Like my money wasn't even mine. And then he said something that shocked me even more. Thanks to me, we're living well. I felt my chest tighten. Later, in the car, I couldn't stay quiet anymore. Why do you act like that? I have my pride as the eldest son, he replied. We started arguing again. If you give them money once, they'll expect it again and again, I said, trying to stay calm. But making my mom happy isn't a bad thing, David replied coldly. We can't afford this. I snapped. You haven't paid for anything in months. We need to save. From that day on, we started arguing almost every single day. I couldn't understand how he still acted like he was in charge, when I was the one carrying all the responsibilities. Slowly, something inside me began to change. A question kept repeating in my mind. Why am I doing all this for him? One day he came up to me and said, Hey, let's go to my mom's house. I looked at him and replied calmly, You go alone. He frowned immediately. A wife should go with her husband. I let out a small laugh. Oh really? Then why don't you ever come when I visit my parents? He got annoyed, clicked his tongue, and left without saying another word. That weekend, for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. No insults. No pressure. No toxic voices around me. Just silence and freedom. I sat on my couch, took a deep breath, and for the first time in years, I smiled. That's when I started thinking about my dream again. Buying my own house. A place where no one could control me. A place that was truly mine. I opened my laptop and started searching. House designs, interiors, decorations. I imagined everything. Where I would place the sofa. How my bedroom would look. What colors I would choose. Hours passed without me even realizing. And before I knew it, it was night. That night, when my husband came home, I greeted him softly. Welcome back. But he ignored me completely. From that moment on, I changed. On the outside, I acted normal. I didn't argue, didn't complain, didn't react. But inside, I had already made my decision. I was going to leave him. The next day, I went to work like usual. But this time, my focus was different. Every penny I earned now had a purpose. My freedom. I started cutting UNN. He was still angry. I watched him for a moment. And honestly, it felt childish. I didn't have the energy to please him anymore. So instead of trying to talk, I quietly went to the kitchen and started preparing dinner. The silence between us felt heavy. Then suddenly he spoke. Lately, you've been acting very bold. I stopped for a second. Bold. Refusing to visit my mom and sister like that. Who do you think you are? I turned to face him. We are equals in this marriage, I said firmly. And they're always rude to me. I don't want to go anymore. His expression darkened. That attitude, he said slowly. Wives should obey their husbands. My heart dropped. Obey? Was that really how he saw me? Before I could respond, he continued. If you can't do that, then we should divorce. For a moment, everything went silent. Divorce? I repeated, shocked. He smirked slightly. You don't want that, right? I said nothing. I'm really angry right now, he continued. I've already signed my part of the divorce papers. My eyes widened. If you challenge me again, I'll submit them immediately. He turned away like it was nothing. I'm going to take a shower, he said casually. Hurry up with dinner. The moment I heard the bathroom door close, and the sound of running water, something inside me changed. I stood there quietly, then slowly, a small smile appeared on my face. Perfect. If that's what he wanted, then I would give it to him. From that moment on, I stopped trying to fix the marriage. From that moment on, I changed. On the outside, I acted normal. I didn't argue, didn't complain, didn't react. But inside, I had already made my decision. I was going to leave him. The next day, I went to work like usual. But this time, my focus was different. Every penny I earned now had a purpose. My freedom. I started cutting unnecessary expenses. No more extra shopping. No more wasting money. And most importantly, no more giving money to his family. Whenever they asked again, I made excuses. I don't have it right now. I already paid bills. Maybe next time. They didn't like it, but I didn't care anymore. Weeks passed, then months. Slowly, my savings started growing. And with every dollar I saved, I felt stronger. Closer to freedom. At night, while my husband slept peacefully, I stayed awake, scrolling through house listings, looking at designs, comparing prices, planning my future. I wasn't just dreaming anymore. I was preparing. Carefully. Silently. Sometimes I would look at him, sleeping without a worry, depending on me for everything. And I would think, you have no idea what's coming. One day, after months of saving, I finally reached my goal. I had enough money. Enough to start a new life. Without telling anyone. I bought a house. In my name. Only mine. The moment I signed the papers, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Control, peace, power. But I wasn't done yet. Now came the most important part. Leaving without him knowing. Now that I had my house, there was only one thing left to do. Leave. But I had to be careful. If my husband found out too early, he would never let me go easily. So I stayed quiet. Acted normal. Waited for the perfect moment. I couldn't move everything at once. That would be too obvious. So instead, I started small. Every few days, I packed a little. Clothes, shoes, personal items. Nothing noticeable. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Then, I sent them to my parents' house. Slowly, quietly. My parents already knew everything. They knew how I was being treated. They knew how unhappy I was. And without hesitation, they supported me. Don't worry, my mother said gently. We're with you. My father simply nodded. That was enough for me. Day by day, box by box, my life started moving out of that apartment. And strangely, my husband didn't notice anything. He was too busy, too distracted, too comfortable, relying on me. Sometimes I would look around the house, at the empty spaces slowly growing, and my heart would race. It's really happening. Finally, the moment arrived. One weekend, my husband said, I'm going to my parents' house. I nodded calmly. Okay. The door closed. And just like that, I was alone. I stood there for a few seconds, listening to the silence, making sure he was really gone. Then suddenly, I moved. Fussed. I called for help. Packed everything that was left. Furniture, bags, all the remaining things. Within hours, everything was gone. And just like that, I walked out of that apartment. For the last time, I didn't look back. After leaving that apartment, I went straight to my new home. My home. The moment I stepped inside, I stopped. Everything felt different. Quiet. Fresh. Peaceful. I slowly walked through each room, taking it all in. The empty walls. The clean floors. The soft light coming through the windows. And then, I smiled. Not a forced smile. Not a polite smile. But a real one. For the first time in years, I felt free. No shouting. No insults. No pressure. Just me. I placed my bags down and sat in the middle of the living room. There was no furniture yet. No decorations. But it didn't matter. Because this place was mine. I leaned back slightly, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. Peace. I spent the whole day there. Cleaning. Organizing. Planning where everything would go. I imagined my future. A calm life. A happy life. A life without fear. Hours passed, but I didn't feel tired. I felt alive. That night, I lay down on the floor with a simple blanket. No bed. No luxury. But still, it was the best sleep I had in years. No stress. No arguments. No toxic voices in my head. Just silence. And freedom. But that peace didn't last long. My phone suddenly rang. It was him. That night, my phone rang. I answered cautiously. Hey, where are you? He demanded. What do you mean? I replied calmly, hiding my excitement. Everything is gone from the house. What's happening? I packed my things and I left, I said slowly. What? Why? I don't understand. Well, we're divorced now, I said. So of course I moved out. Divorced? Yes. I already submitted the papers. Now we are complete strangers. He was silent for a moment. Then he tried to argue. Don't say nonsense. I won't accept this. I laughed softly. You were the one who said we could divorce anytime. As a businessman, you should be responsible for your words. I hung up. For the first time, I was truly free. Life in my new house was amazing. Every morning, I woke up feeling happy, alive, renewed. I invited my parents for the first time. We cooked together, drank sake, celebrated this new chapter. They were amazed by the house. We laughed, we toasted a small private party. For the first time, I felt truly safe, truly loved. Then the doorbell rang. I froze. Who could it be? I went to the intercom. It was him, with his mother and sister. What are you doing here? I asked calmly. Really, you want to live here now? He replied. My blood boiled. I'm not letting you in. Leave my property immediately. His mother stepped forward. You're rude. This is mine. Open the door. I remained calm. I'm single now. What are you talking about? His sister looked confused. He tried to explain, but I ignored them. I turned off the intercom. He started pounding on the door. Open up. I want to talk, he yelled. I thought fast and called the police. Within minutes, a patrol arrived. They restrained him immediately. His mother and sister were in shock. They didn't get arrested, but the police escorted them away too. I stepped outside, and there he was struggling. Then I saw my father calmly signaling peace. In situations like this, always call the police, he said. I hugged him tightly. I realized I was finally safe. Later, I discovered he had been following me from work. Even admitted he was stalking me. The police warned him. If he appeared again, he would be arrested immediately. After the divorce, life became a brand new chapter. David's business continued failing. Without my money, his family struggled to pay bills. Even his father, still in the hospital, there was no one to cover expenses. Eventually, they had to sell their house. It felt like karma. Meanwhile, I was living my dream. My parents moved in with me. We celebrated life together. As a happy, united family, I finally felt proud, safe, loved. I could enjoy life without fear. I could plan. I could live freely. And I vowed, I would always take care of my parents and cherish my freedom. Life continued beautifully. I was free, independent, and happy. Every morning, I woke up feeling grateful. I could spend time with my parents, cook with them, laugh together, plan the future. I had my own space, my own rules, my own happiness. And slowly, I stopped thinking about him entirely. The fear, the anger, the sadness, all of it was gone. I had learned that happiness starts with freedom, that self-respect is priceless, and that strength comes from within. This new life was everything I had dreamed of. No more insults, no more toxic family, no more living for someone else. I had my own house, my parents by my side, peace in my heart, and every day, I felt stronger. I knew I had made the right choice. Divorce wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Activate the notification bell and share your thoughts below, because your stories matter too. Stay strong, stay free, and take care.